Memory is the seamstress, and a capricious one at that. Memory runs her needle in and out, up and down, hither and thither. We know not what comes next, or what follows after. Thus, the most ordinary movement in the world, such as sitting down at a table and pulling the inkstand towards one, may agitate 1,000 odd disconnected fragments, now bright, now dim, hanging and bobbing and dipping and flaunting. Hi, this is Aisha and welcome to another book review of Reader Day Club. And today's video is about Virginia Woolf's Orlando. Virginia Woolf has written several fascinating and well-revered books, and a few of them we have already spoken about on Reader Day Club. Mrs. Dalloway, To the Lighthouse, and A Room of One's Own. Now in Orlando, her literary narrative explores the many dimensions of a self. What is the language of life for a human being, and how does one weave together the most reflective and lucid of fabrics that make up the essence of a person. Now, there are many central elements to Virginia Woolf's writing, and while she does question the differences between a man and a woman in society, writing sort of persuades the reader into, believing in an androgynous state of mind. The book is named after the protagonist Orlando, who experiences a sex change when one day he wakes up as a woman. Now, through Orlando, Virginia Woolf questions and tackles the interiority and exteriority of gender. And she asks a lot more important questions about gender identity, and society's expectations of it. In her writing, you will find that she seamlessly tries to find at the core of everything, of every human being, of every human experience, a cross-pollination of sorts that is not defined by and that does not constrain a human being to a set of values or affectations just because one is a man or a woman. Orlando is a simple story if you focus on the exteriority of its characters or its imagery, but it's so much more rewarding and fascinating and complex when you navigate its interiors. Woolf carries with her an almost prophetic literary genius, and it is this intelligence of voice and critical tone of writing that makes Orlando such a provocative and fascinating book to read. Her ideas, her writing, her literary genius sort of focuses on everything that makes human human. Her writing recognizes creativity, consciousness, the human experience, and it does not in any way discriminate against these very qualities based on what society thinks of it or based on society's estimation of it. Orlando's self-awareness as a person stems from within, because that is the only form of self-transformation and spiritual growth that is needed. The conflict in Orlando is how the world and society perceives him when he was a man and then when he was a woman. So when the transformation of gender happened, as did happen the rules, the expectations, and what was most significantly felt was the intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and cultural estimation of Orlando's identity. This is so absurd and also true because as human beings we are fed and polluted with such narrow definitions of people and emotions and ideas and of language. And when you read Orlando, you do sense that Woolf is trying to tear down those barriers in a very unconventional and intuitive manner. Prose is so thought-provoking and intimate, and the story does not necessarily follow a linear narrative because it sort of imitates the complexities of human nature, which is non-linear, bizarre, and chaotic. Woolf's broad understanding of these very faculties of thought in relation to gender stems from her personal life experiences and her own upbringing and sensations. And so her writing is very aware of this ecosystem between gender and society, and gender and human nature. To write the kind of characters that Virginia Woolf has in Mrs. Dalloway and To the Lighthouse requires a certain kind of courage to, shatter that very prohibitive, aloof, and uncreative way of looking at the world. And that's exactly what Virginia Woolf does in Orlando as well. Orlando portrays how a human being attempts to understand his or her own mind through a very vague, muddy and obscure looking class, and gender identity plays such a significant role in that inner process, and how it can, and sometimes it can even inaccurately shift and reshape the whole boundary and circumference of a human being. You can also feel the passion that Virginia Woolf harbored for literature and reading in the way she writes, the strength that her characters, the wisdom that her characters exude, sort of solidify that very same passion. Woolf urges her readers to read, not to overpower, not to analyze, not to judge, not to compare, but to simply experience, that deep final pleasure of reading. There is no other strand of literature that is as persuasive, as provocative, as powerful as Orlando. And I also believe that it is very central to Virginia Woolf's works. And it is so heavily invested in other aspects of life like sexuality, philanthropy, and the true nature of death, life, and reality. I just hope that, everyone who reads Virginia Woolf sort of understands that her literary genius sort of exceeds that feminist interpretation, that she writes more than just about the political landscape of gender. Her writing tackles the sort of emotional, spiritual, mental, intellectual landscapes of man and woman, and that is such an important conversation to have. But time, unfortunately, though it makes animals and vegetables bloom and fade with amazing punctuality, has no such simple effect upon the mind of man. The mind of man, moreover, works with equal strangeness upon the body of time. An hour, once it lodges in the queer element of the human spirit, may be stretched to 50 or 100 times its clock length. On the other hand, an hour may be accurately represented on the timepiece of the mind by 1 second. This extraordinary discrepancy between time on the clock and time in the mind is less known than it should be and deserves fuller investigation. This brings me to the end of this video. This is Aisha from Reader Day Club. Thank you for watching all the way through. If you have any thoughts or feedback regarding this video, please feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys next time.